Hello and welcome back to the Best Coin channel on YouTube. I'm Son of a Silver Stacker. In today's numismatic news and information for the 24th day of October 2023, I'm going to welcome you over to moneymetals.com. Then we're going to look at the bullion sales at the United States Mint. There's some really big news I got to share with you, so let's get to it. Now, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We're trying to get to 10,000 subs. That way we can start selling merchandise with your favorite Son of a Silver Stacker logo. There it is. We'll be doing some other logos as well. Could you imagine seeing that on a hat or a t-shirt or a bumper sticker or what have you? Yeah, I know you could. That's awesome. Now, over here to moneymetals.com. Precious metals are getting beat up from the feet up this morning. Gold is down 11.30 to 19.72 even, Steven. Silver down 19 cents at 22.99. Platinum down $10.60 to 900. Well, down 11.50 to $900.35. Palladium down 7.35. All right, to 11.49.40. You're looking at an in-stock American Silver Eagle whose premium is now 8.49. Isn't that something? So wasn't 6.99 looking pretty good? Yeah, it was. Now they're going to buy your American Silver Eagles from you for 24.62 each. Is that a deal? I don't know. That's up to you. Now over here to the bullion sales of the United States Mint. These are updated every weekday by 5 p.m. Eastern time, and we had some new numbers that came out yesterday. Now, first things first, I want to show you this column right here. These are the 1 ounce American Eagle gold coins. All right. Now, in January, they had sold 118,000. However, in March, they had sold 211,000. And then in April, 159,000. And it tapered down in May to 60,000. Then things settled down in June, 35,000. Then July, 41,000. But then in August, it ramped back up to 78,000. September kind of cooled things off a little, 27,500. But yesterday, well, we got up to 93,000 American Gold Eagles sold. That's the 1 ounce version for the month of October. And we still have at least another whole week left. Could we hit 100,000? Absolutely. Because there's some stuff going on. But first, I'm going to go over why I believe the sales for the American Gold Eagle in March and April were so tremendously high. So I think here we go. This is on Wikipedia. It says the 2023 United States banking crisis, and it says press crews outside Signature Bank branch in New York on March 13, 2023. So in March, there we go, over the course of 5 days in March 2023, 3 small to mid-sized U.S. banks failed, triggering a sharp decline in global bank stock prices and swift response by regulators to prevent potential global contagion. Yeah, that's what was going on in March 2023 and April. So you can see that probably had a big impact on the sales, at least cause and effect, at least in my opinion, that's what's going on there. Now it says here, Silicon Valley Bank, SVB, failed when a bank run was triggered after it sold its treasury bond portfolio at a large loss, causing depositor concerns about the bank's liquidity. The bonds had lost a significant value as market interest rates rose after the bank had shifted its portfolio to longer maturity bonds, all right? The bank's clientele was primarily technology companies and wealthy individuals holding large deposit. All right, but balances exceeding $250,000 were not insured by the FDIC, that's a Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Silvergate Bank, Signature Bank, both with significant exposure to cryptocurrency, failed in the midst of the turbulence in that market. Here we go. So that's what was going on in March, okay? And it didn't get really any better until the feds and some other central banks moved in and started tweaking things in order to make sure that they could prop up the market. Now it says here, in response to the bank failures, the 3 major U.S. federal bank regulators announced in a joint communique that extraordinary measures, you hear that, would be taken to ensure that all deposits at Silicon Valley Bank and Signature Bank would be honored. Basically, what's going on there is that there's a bunch of rules that are in place, but when things go south, well, guess what? They go in and they change the rules middle of the game. Imagine playing Monopoly and somebody says, well, yeah, let's go ahead and change the rules now. Dang, especially if you were lined up doing pretty well, you might not like that, right? It says here the Federal Reserve established a bank term funding program, that's the BTFP, to offer loans of up to 1 year to eligible depository institutions pledging qualifying assets as collateral. What kind of collateral did they use? To prevent the situation from affecting more banks, that's the contagion they're talking about. Global industry regulators, including the Federal Reserve, the Bank of Canada, the Bank of England, the Bank of Japan, European Central Bank, and the Swiss National Bank, intervened to provide extraordinary liquidity. There you go. It's a liquidity problem, and banks are not getting the deposits, the cash they need to operate. That's what the bank runs are all about. And look at, like I said, a worldwide contagion, global. Yeah, that went global, folks. That's what a big deal this was. Now, speaking of global, there's something going on right now, and we'll touch on that in a second here. All right. By March 16th, large interbank flows of funds were occurring to shore bank balances sheets, and some analysts were talking of a possibility of broader U.S. banking crisis. Absolutely. The Federal Reserve discount window liquidity facility had experienced approximately $150 billion in borrowing from various banks by March 16th. And mostly these were small to mid-sized banks, okay? And they were being gobbled up by the big banks. And I think that's what's going to happen sooner or later, no matter how many federal banks jump in and try and save them. It says here, soon after the bank run at SVB, depositors quickly began withdrawing cash from the San Francisco-based First Republic Bank, that's FRB, which focused on private banking to wealthy clientele. Like SVB, FRB had substantial uninsured deposits. Ooh, that's a gut punch, exceeding $250,000. Such deposits constituted 68% of the bank's total at year-end 2022, declining by 27% by the end of March. That was brutal, as $100 billion in uninsured deposits were withdrawn, despite a $30 billion capital infusion from a group of major banks in March. FRB continued to destabilize, and its stock price plummeted as the FDIC prepared to take it into receivership and find a buyer on April 29. May, there you go. On May 1st, the FDIC announced that First Republic Bank had been closed and sold to J.P. Morgan Chase. There you go. Smaller mid-sized banks are going to be gobbled up by the big banks. There it is. That's basically what I think is going to happen here in the future, is that we're going to have another banking crisis, and the other banks aren't going to be able to step in because they're busy doing whatever they're going to be distracted with. And at that point, I think that we're going to go into some kind of digital currency. With about 5 banks left over in all of the United States. All the small ones, all the mid-caps, they're going to be gone. They're going to be absorbed or just go out of business, all right? Now, this is the background. It says here in the lead-up period, many banks within the United States have invested their reserves in U.S. Treasury securities, which have been paying low interest rates for several years. We have been, let's face it, folks, these low interest rates, we have been spoiled. All right. When I was a kid, interest rates were much, much higher than they are now. It was almost like free money, same as cash, right? For several years. Oh my gosh, okay, here we go. And now, as the Federal Reserve began raising interest rates in 2022 as a response to the 2021-23 inflation surge, and I think that's probably going to go to 24 as well, easily. Bond prices declined, decreasing the market value of bank capital reserves, causing some banks to incur unrealized losses to maintain liquidity. Silicon Valley Bank sold its bonds to realize steep losses. Ouch. Now, also several banks gained market exposure to cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency-related firms prior to and during the COVID-19 pandemic. The 2020 to 2022 cryptocurrency bubble popped in late 2022. And have you seen cryptocurrencies back up again? I think Bitcoin's above 35,000 or 34,000, so it's going back up again. In this environment, 3 such banks failed or were shut down by regulators. The first bank to fail, cryptocurrency-focused Silvergate Bank, announced it would wind down on March 8, 2023 due to losses suffered by this loan portfolio. 2 days later, upon an announcement of an attempt to raise capital, a bank run occurred at Silicon Valley Bank, causing it to collapse and be seized by regulators that day. Now, Signature Bank, a bank that frequently did business with cryptocurrency firms, was closed by regulators 2 days later on March 12. When it happens fast and furious, folks. With regulators citing systemic risks, the collapse of First Republic Bank, Silicon Valley Bank, and Signature Bank were the second, third, and fourth largest bank failures in the history of the United States, respectively, smaller only than the collapse of WAMU, that's Washington Mutual, during the 2007-2008 financial crisis. Yowza! I'm telling you, and I'm going to leave a link in the description for this particular article. It's pretty good, actually. A lot of good stuff here. There is an aftermath I want to talk to you about, but I'm just going to leave it at that. Now, what else? What could be going on? Because if we go back here to this particular number, it went from 27,000, the lowest this year in September. Everything was chill. Bam, to 93,000 gold eagles. That's the 1 ounce version sold for October. And we still have a month left. We're only 3/4 through the month, right? So, well, let's go back over to the Google machine here and look at this. I put World War III, and it says here, news about World War III. This is 38 minutes ago. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Elon Musk warns World War III could arise from current conflicts. This is on Fox News. Professor warns of potential World War III as war in Israel develops. The Hill says a day ago, with their Israel coverage, are the media trying to start World War III? All right. And then it goes on a month ago. All right. Zelensky warns Putin could cause World War III. That's a 60 Minutes article. And so on and so forth. Well, could that be driving the sales for these gold eagles and the American silver eagles? Because look at this. The American Gold Eagle talked about that, but look at this. This is the American Silver Eagle sold 3.3 million, and we're up to 21 million here for the year so far. Could that hit 4 million? Absolutely. So I guess my next question is, well, where do you, look, let's go here. Bam. This is the United States Mint. Now, this is the Gold Eagle I've got highlighted here, right there. I got the check mark spot. Now, I've talked about on my U.S. Mint sales report for the last month or so that gold eagles are flying off the shelf. And not only the gold eagles, but the gold buffaloes are flying off the shelf. The, what else was it? The gold Liberty coin? Yeah. Perseverance? That one's also flying off the shelf as well. So if you wanted to hedge your bets or whatever it is you do with the gold, right? If you want to buy gold at the mint, you actually can't because, well, you can get this here. That's the 1 ounce gold coin. I don't know how many are left of that particular one, but it does say limited right there in that little triangle. Now, all the other ones here, 2022, 2023, 22, 23, 23, 22, yeah, they're all on Remind Me and say not available. Yeah, isn't that something? All of these are not available. So where does a person go if they want to pick up gold eagles? Well, some people go to the bullion dealers. They go, oh, well, I'll just go to the JM Bullion or AppMex or something like that. And they're going to use their credit card and PayPal payment to pay $291.83 for a 1/10 ounce gold eagle. Well, is that really the best deal? Well, I don't know. I think the best deals are honestly found here on eBay. All right. So I've got the 2023 Gold Eagle 1/10 ounce version right there. I'll even do that now. Bam. And it went to 159 results instead of 145. I don't know. Now, check this out. Would you spend right here $291.83 for a raw gold eagle and a 10th ounce, or just spend a couple bucks more and get one that's graded in a mint state 70? Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. That one's $228. That one's $232. That's for raw, $245 with free shipping, and free shipping. I think they're the writing's on the wall, if you ask me. Isn't that something? Yeah. Wow. We're all riders of the storm. And that's going to be our song for today because we're all riding out a storm right now. And there's a lot of things that are happening in our world that could make, I would imagine, gold and silver very, very expensive, especially if we have any more bank runs or if we end up in a larger conflict across the globe. That's sad. Now, over here to the U.S. Nope. We're going to go to the plus ones here now. Bam! This is Proverb 24:10. And it says here, and, I myself, I try and help out when I can. It says here, this is Proverb 24:10. If you were weak in another's day of affliction, or maybe you attacked them when they were asking for help, maybe that makes you a real good person, doesn't it? Your strength will become limited. That's Proverbs 24:10. If you neglect helping others in their time of need, you will grow too weak to even help yourself, thereby cursing yourself. Yowza. I don't think people want to curse themselves, do they? Don't they want to prosper and flourish? Yeah, I would think so. So maybe it's a good thing to give charity to others when they need it. That's something to think about, isn't it? Now, over here to 99.9 KOIN Coin News Radio. This is off the LA Woman album. This is The Doors. This is Riders of the Storm. And I don't know why there's an ad there, but there sure is. I'll have to get the ad blocker there. But anyway, that's The Doors, Riders of the Storm. And isn't that what we all are right now? Riders of the Storm, Riders on the Storm. I don't want to mischaracterize or quote the song. My bad. So there it is, folks. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for dropping by. Don't forget to hit that like button. And if you do like what you hear and say, well, sub the channel. It's free. But you can also become a member, too. It's like $1.99 a month. That's like a cheap cup of coffee once a month. That ain't nothing. Nothing, nada. And let's go ahead, like, share, and subscribe because we're trying to get to 10,000 subs. That way we can sell some merchandise with the Son of a Silver Stacker logo on it. That's going to be pretty awesome. Stacker out.